Okay. Hi. I had to do another take because I was up here talking about 2015, and yeah, we're definitely not in that year. So I was like, let me gather myself. Hi. I hope everyone enjoyed your holiday, however you chose to spend it. I hope it was good to you and good for you. You all know I tend not to do things like society does. I'm pretty unconventional in that way and kind of just different. For a better word choice, right? We're going to say I'm unique in that way. And so, yeah, I don't tend to do the same things that society does. But that does not matter. It's more about, if you enjoyed yourself, however you chose to spend it, especially since some people had time off of, work or school or whatever it was. So hopefully you got to do some things that you wanted to do and it was good to you. It was good for you. I am coming to you right now, right from the closet, and not that type of closet, but like I'm coming to you from the closet, and just kind of having to sit down in a moment, as always, in my thoughts. I have so much to share with you all. It's been such I don't know, it's been such an interesting time. I just sat up here and I realized that not only are we ending November, but we're getting ready to end the year. And I can't even really believe it. I feel like 2025 just started. But it's always a blessing for real when it's like new things approaching, right? Like it's a new beginning, it's something different. At least for me, that's how I feel. And so I'm actually excited now that I just realized that, like, we're not only ending the month, but we're getting ready to start the month of the last, right, little bit of the year. And yeah, so hopefully right, the message is good for you today. It's been good to me, and so we're gonna see where it goes. I'm kind of just, taking my time with it, ending the day off, kind of mellow. And again, like I said, from the closet. Let me talk to you all about the closet, okay? So, regardless of what society might think, or refer to the closet as, I'm going to share with you for real the faith background of it. Back, I don't know when, maybe like back in 2020. Was it 2020? It might have been before that. It might have been 2019 or 2020. But back in that time, I read a scripture in the Bible. And I mean, but you just don't really know until you get into those types of situations. But I read a scripture in the Bible that talked about like closing yourself up, in a room and kind of just talking to, Jesus and getting close to God and stuff. And so for me, during that time, I was just like, I'm trying this out. I'd be like, I'm getting ready to try this. We gonna see how this works. And oh my goodness, like the spaces that I was choosing, like the very small spaces that I was choosing to like close myself up with him. And I mean small. Sometimes they were just like, it's all types of closets. You had a walk-in closet, you had a regular closet. And then sometimes I would do rooms, just small rooms. And I mean, I didn't care what the size was, what have you, like for real. For me, it was like the smaller, the better, because I just felt that much closer to him. And it's been something that I've continuously done, and it has been rewarding every single time. I kid you not. Like, it's one of those things where it's like it will change your life. And so the other day, what made me think about it was, that War Room movie. If you have not seen that, like, check that out. But basically, it's this movie that came out about the War Room, and it was this lady, she was older and had some wisdom on her and stuff, and age, and was pretty much telling this lady about how she gets through trials and tribulations, how she goes through hardships and challenges and all of that. Like, like some people you go see a counselor. Some people, you go back and forth, about it or what have you. She like, I go to the war room. I call this my war room. And I don't call mine that, but it's a really good movie though. I encourage people to watch it. And for me though, scripture wise, it's in there that talks about it, like actually getting close to him in those spaces and just for real coming to him boldly with whatever it is that you have on your mind and your heart, whatever it is you're praying for, whatever it is that you're struggling with, like any of those things. And I tell you, like, it's something. Like, it's something to for real experience. And ever since then, for me, I've been doing it. And times where I for real want to be extremely close to him, like, that's where I go. Like, that's like, I'm going to going to whatever closet I have near, or whatever small space, but normally it's like a closet to me. And I kid you not, it's been sometimes where I be in there with my legs all folded up, and sometimes, where it's like a walk in, I could just come walk in, sit down. Like right now, I'm sitting on a bench in here, and it's like, yeah, it's one of those moments where you are for real feeling like this whole space. Like I am just enclosed with his spirit, and he hears me and he sees me and he knows. And I don't know what it is about it, but clearly it's something to it, right? Because it's in the Bible, right? Like clearly it's something to it. But at the same time, it's just like, it's so rewarding, and it's just so intimate, and it's so personal, and it's just so, I don't know, just it's a life-changing experience every time you go in. And so I can definitely see why they called it the war room. But I would just say, for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, watch it. It'll give you some more insight to it, some more background to it. And those who read the Bible, like, you definitely want to look into those scriptures that talk about that, because we all know that we can go to him at any time, any place, anywhere. Right? Like anytime you talk to him through your heart, your mind, your spirit, whatever. But it's nothing like for real coming to him, and boldly coming to him, and knowing, like this is it, right? Like this holy space, like right now, because I know you here with me, and I know, like you hear me, and I know, right? Like you have that confidence, you have that boldness, and you know what you coming to do, so I can definitely see, like why they call it that. But yeah, so today I was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna come from the closet today. Like, yeah, we're gonna chat from the closet today. And of course, I try and keep it faith based, and at the same time experiences about my life. And it's been quite a few things going on. I haven't chatted for what? It's been a few days. It's been a few days. One day I was just like, I don't really feel like, sharing a video or what have you. But I was like, it's been a while, so I definitely want to go ahead and share, like what's been going on. And I think right before the last video I posted, I was talking a little bit about just like, man, God being divine, like him being divine with how he does things strategically, and just his plans, and, everything that goes on in our lives, whether it's something good, whether it's something bad. And, yeah, and then I had all types of things going on, and ended up talking about like new beginnings and stuff. And I'm like, man, yes for that. What have you, like, yes for that, for new beginnings. And it was a blessing to kind of have that conversation. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that today, or a topic that goes into new beginnings and all that jazz, whatever you want to call it. But as we're finishing up, right, on 2025, because this will be, right, tomorrow is the 1st, so this will be the last month before we finish up the year. I was really looking into a lot of value, right, like our value and our worth, especially because I think one of the recent videos I did, it was talking about like having confidence in yourself, and knowing who you are, and doing that kind of self-examination of, like what you have to offer, and all these different things, and not comparing yourself, and not comparing other people. And, I keep hearing this, and I keep seeing it, and I'm just like, you know what, let me dive in a little bit deeper about that, especially as we're ending the year and we're going into a new year, and we're talking about these new beginnings, and all this good stuff. And so yeah, come right, come chill with me as I kind of dive into this, because I was just like, I don't know how I want to talk about it, but I'm just gonna be as authentic as I can. Right? And I was looking up so many different things. I'm just like, man, I don't know which route I want to go with it, but I'll just keep it real with you. So yeah, for me, Right? Because again, you all know I'm different. Like the things that go on in society, I'm kind of unconventional in that way with how things roll. And so, recently I did a post that I was talking about where I was putting it up there about competition and this whole comparison and all that type of stuff. And go back and watch those if you don't know what I'm talking about. But basically, it's like, what is our worth and what is our value, right? A lot of the times over the years, you'll go through different experiences and then you'll hear that where some people will say, like, man, know your worth. Like, know your worth. And it's so interesting to me because a lot of the times we talk about, certain words and concepts and ideas, but we don't really tell people or show people like how to do that, right? So it's just like, man, know your worth. And it's just like, I thought I knew, like I thought I knew my worth, but clearly it's something that's going on that's like showing that I don't, according to certain people. And it's like, no, you have to go off of yourself. Like, you can't allow external things to dictate like what your worth is or what your value is. And so I was really taking a moment to go into it. And I'm just like, what do what's the way I want to say that? When I was looking it up, I'm just like, what makes something valuable? According to this world, like, what makes something valuable? What makes something of worth? Is it the fact that it's been untouched, like it's been unused, it's never been open? Is it the fact that it's something that's different, it's unusual, it's something that's original? Is it the fact that it has so many possessions, what have you? It has all these different qualities, all these different skills, like I was just looking into all the different things, right, that society identifies as like, you're valuable, or you're right, like you're VIP, you're worthy, what have you. And then it made me stop and look into the Bible, right, to see, like, what for real is valuable to God. What does he see, as being of worth, right? And it's so interesting, like the things that I was looking up, because even for myself, I used to hate that question. I still kind of do, but like that question is like, well, what makes you different? Like, what makes you stand out, and all these types of things. And I was really reflecting on it as I was doing my research with the, what makes you valuable, what makes you of worth. And it was really making me think, right? Like, oh, this might be a good question. This is a good question to ask. Like, do you know? Like, do you know for yourself? Like, if somebody asks you that, now, like, not the vague question of what makes you worthy, or what makes you different, but it's just like, no, have you for real thought about that? Like, what is your value according to God? Like, do you for real see yourself as valuable, right? And it's so interesting to me. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, even for everything that we go through, like, for somebody to hire you for a job, for someone to want to date you, for someone to want to marry you, for someone to want to give you something, what have you, for someone to want to be around you and do something. You get what I'm saying? Like, all these different things. Have we for real thought about what makes us valuable? And seriously, I think in today's society, we for real think that, oh, it's because I have this or I have that. Like, how many times do you see that growing up where it's like, oh, this person gets a car, or they get, a house, or they get some type of asset, or they have all this money or whatever. And then it's just like, now, they feel valuable. They feel like, I can, approach this person, or I can ask them something, or I can do. And it's just like, so you don't see yourself as valuable beyond that. Right? Same thing with us going for jobs and everything. And it's just like, okay, we think, oh, well, I'm going to get selected because, like, I have this skill, or I do this very well, or I can, give them this or give them that. And I've been the type of person where I feel like I can teach anybody anything. Like, I'm serious. I can teach anybody anything. As long as I know how to do it, I can teach you how to do it. So it's not, I don't really care about what your skills are, if that makes sense. Like, it's nice for you to have those, but it's just like, if it's a skill that I can teach somebody else, then it's like, that's not really making you stand out, if that makes sense. So it's just like, even with that, it's like, that doesn't really tell me much about making somebody valuable or making them an asset or something of worth. And what was the other thing I was thinking about? when people talk about the stuff they know. Like, right, like, oh, I went to school for this, and like, I went to grad school and I aced the mess out of it, and even though I didn't finish the internship part, it's like, still, what does that really say? I'm like, okay, so I know all this information about, this particular subject or what have you. And it's just like, okay, but does that really make me valuable? Does that really make me of worth? And so when I'm looking at the definition for these things, they were talking about, being useful, something that's pleasing to the senses. What was the other thing they were saying? Something of high worth. When I looked up value, like high worth, like your net worth and stuff like that. And I was just like, that's so different, from what God perceives as valuable and of worth. And when you start looking into it, like for women just in general, I'm speaking about everybody, right? Like I'm speaking about men and women. But when you speak about women, it was going into, like, pretty much God saying your inner beauty is more important than your outer beauty. Right? Like the unfading beauty that stays with you, your spirit, like it being gentle and being quiet, or your character. Like him talking about how perseverance builds our character, being able to endure things and then, be resilient and keep, pushing forward. Different characteristics and qualities about yourself. You being compassionate, you being open, you being, forgiving, peaceful, like all these different things that we don't really talk about. Like, when for real, when you really think about it, it's like we don't talk about none of that stuff. Like none of it. When you're applying for a job, or like how society and the media puts things out, like, oh, this person, I would choose them, because they look like this and they have that, and like all this. It's never like, man, because they personality, it stands out. Like, they don't follow the crowd, like they have a different way of being, like, like when I'm around them, this and that, like none of that. But yet these are the things that God is putting out there as of worth. Like for real, for real. Like when you look at it, for people who are Bible readers, it's like go in there and for real look it up and see all of the scriptures that come up when he's talking about it, when he's talking about like our character, and when he's talking about the different qualities that we should have, the different aspects of the spirit that we should be carrying, and how we should be, acting, and just our presence, around people, and what he for real is finding to be valuable, opposed to today's society and what we say is valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm serious. And it just hit me because I'm just like, left and right, you just hear it, where it's like people constantly comparing themselves and, comparing other people, and just saying like, oh, well, you see how many followers, you see how many likes, and even think about it, like even when it's different, what do you call it, like different roles and stuff like that in society, they're looking at, well, how many follows do they have, how many likes, how many views, whatever. Like, and I'm for real, it's like literally, it's almost as if we're doing it like a quantity thing, like we're just checking in to see like, oh, well, is it relevant, is it, but it's like, really, no, it's almost like we're equating numbers, and we're equating things that don't even matter to things that are extremely significant, right? Actual human beings and individuals. And so it really made me think to myself, because although it's different aspects of our lives, right, whether it's our professional life, whether it's our social life, it's our personal life, what have you, like, with anything that we're doing, it's like, for real, what is making you different? Like, what is making you of value? What's making you of worth? And if it's something that somebody else could do, like, is that really something that's of worth? Whatever, like, is it? And I was thinking to myself, because when I was researching, it was one that said, what was it? I think they said like invisible. Was it invisible? No. It was digital. No, being virtually untouchable. That's what I looked up. And I wasn't using it in that way that it was used, like business wise. I was just thinking of it like, yeah, if it's something that's for real making you stand out, where it's almost as if nothing can compete with that. You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's how I feel. It's like you are the product, like a person, right? Like, if you want to look at yourself in that way, being marketable or being out here in this world on the market, whatever, like in whatever sense you want it to be, whether it's for a job or it's for a person or you're pursuing some endeavor or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, what is for real making you stand out? What is it that's making you of value and of worth? And it's something that somebody else isn't doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're so busy in society right now comparing each other and comparing things that it's just like, yeah, it's almost as if it's like, okay, well, that person does it this way, this person does this that way, but it's like they're all doing the same thing. It's like, what is it that you're doing different that's making you stand out? Like, what is it about you that makes you you? Right? And this is a question for real. I hated it. I hated this question where it's just like, what makes you different? And I guess it's because of the way it's worded. What have you, like, and to me it was so vague that I just never really thought about it. But I'm like, yeah, this is actually a good question. I just hate the way it's worded, I guess. I'm being in particular. But when you really think about it, no, it's a very good question to ask ourselves, and not just to wait for someone else to ask us, but for real, for ourselves. Like, what is it that's making you different? What is it that's making you of worth and value? I'm serious. Like, this is the question, right? As we end November and as we're approaching the end of 2025 and we're getting ready to start up another year, right? Because every day is a new day, right? Thank you, Lord. Every day is a new day, new mercies, new grace, like another opportunity to get it right, and do whatever his will is. But at the same time, it's like, for real, we're getting ready to end some stuff, right? And start some new things. And it's just like, what is it that's making you different? Like, what is it that is making you unique? What is it that's making you of value and worth? And I'm just asking the same thing, but just in different ways, right? Like, what's for real? I'm serious. Like, have you thought about it? I know we have that, like, recorded answer for when people say, what makes you different? But it's like, no, for real, what's making you valuable that no one else out here can replicate, that no one out here can do, that you can do? And I think that's what hit me today. I was just really, not just today, but the past few days, I've been reflecting on it. I'm just like, yeah, what is it for real that's making you of value and worth? And I mean, not something that someone else can do. What is it that only you can offer? Only you can do it. And again, the way I view things is like, you are the product, right? For whatever. I don't care if it, you're not really branding yourself and everything. I'm just saying, in general, think of yourself as like, you are the product. You're the one that's out here to be sold. You're the one that's out here to offer yourself for whatever it is you do, especially as believers, right? Like, we're the ones out here that's sharing the good news, and not out here to convert nobody, but out here to for real represent who God is calling us to be, right? And so it's like, what is it that's making you valuable? What is it that's making you stand out? What is it that's making you of worth? Right? And I know for me, right, like, I'm just giving you something to chew on, something to reflect on, something to kind of talk about, and definitely to reflect on, because I feel like for you to even get to the place where you can answer this question, you have to know who you are. Like, you have to know who you are as a person. So this is definitely like some self-diving, some self-examination, some self-reflection, some self-awareness. Like, you can't even begin to answer this question if you don't know who you truly are. And so, yeah, instead of it being a comparison thing, or instead of it being I can do this better than that person, type of thing, I'm serious. Because to me, it's like, now in my mind, I'm going, I don't even want to hear that. Like, if I ever ask that person something, or any person anything, it's like, I don't ever really want to hear stuff that somebody else can do. Like, who cares? Like, it's like, what is it about you that only you can give me? Like, what is it that's making you, like, valuable? And it's only true to you, who you are as a person. And I think that's where it's at, right? And I think also it's something that's going to continuously evolve, because God is just He's a God of growth, right? And he's a God of transformation. So the more and more that we're working with him and going through this walk with him and this journey, right, through life, he's getting us to become more and more like his image, and also more and more into who he's calling us to be. And I was thinking about it, in this way the other day, because when it started snowing, we got so much snow. We got so much snow. It's a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful to see, especially for me. It's been many years since I've seen it. And so it's such a beautiful thing to see. But to really comprehend, because I don't think some people do, they probably think it just falls in little drops. But they actually do look like snowflakes. They actually do look like the little cutout snowflakes that, people put on the windows and stuff. And the fact that they are all different. You get what I'm saying? And it's so many. The fact that it just snows so much, and it was just so many, and the fact that they're all different. Like, God is so creative. He is so, like, just intricately working things. You get what I'm saying? So for him to make each individual person, it's like we have got to have things that are only true to who we are as individuals, right? And I think that is so cool, and it's just so fascinating. And it's one of those things where it's like, yes, I want us all, right, to be reflecting on this. Like, what is it that's making you different? What is it that you bring that no one else can bring, right? Like no one else can bring it, like in this way. And like, think of yourself as the product, and then go there in your heart and your mind and your spirit. Like, just go there, your soul, whatever you want to call it. Like, go there, because that's where it's at. Right? Like, that's where it's at. Especially when, we go into this conversation of like people and it's competing, right, in society. And it's just like, you can't beat me at being me. Like, like, it's not happening, like, for nobody. So I don't even know why some people worry about that, but it's like, you cannot beat another person in being who they are. If they truly are who they are called to be, right? Like, if they truly are, like, in that being of who they are, like, can't nobody compete with you. Like, it's not happening. You are you. God only made one of you. That is it, and that is all, right? So it's on us to be able to identify in ourselves, like, what is it that's making me of worth? What is it that's making me of value outside of, right? Because the very first thing we need to know, right? The very first thing we need to know is that we're God's children, okay? We are heirs, and we are co-heirs with Jesus, okay? Know that first and foremost, okay? For how you standing out, right? Like, we are co-heirs with Jesus, and we are heir. But then at the same time, it's like he made each and every one of us to be different, and it's meant that way. So what is it about you? What is it about your spirit? What is it about your heart? What is it about your mind? What is it about you? I'm serious. That's making you who you are. When somebody meets you, they're going to know that it's you. You get what I'm saying? Like, and for real, for me, I'm like, man, that's my presence. Like, that's real. Like, that's my presence. When I come around, when I'm in any type of space, when I enter a room, like, it's my presence. And I know God is with me. Right? In me, with me, all around me, going before me, on the side of me, behind me, right? Like, all that. It's a difference, right? Because all of us, as believers, we can say that, but it's just like, yeah, not only that, but it's him shining through us, right? That's giving us that light, giving us that radiance, giving us something that is different from the other, right? Like, only the Spirit knows, like, what it is that's really going on, right, within us and all of that. And the same thing with just like, what do you call it? Like I said before, your mind and your heart. Same thing with that. Is like my heart, right? Like, not competing with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's giving you specific things that it's different for each person. So you have to figure out for yourself, like, what is it that I'm bringing to the table that's going to be different? In this world, we want to make it seem like, oh, this person, they type this very well, or they sketch this very nicely. They do this very, like, and for real, they're gifts. Right? These are gifts. But at the same time, it's just like everybody does it in their own way, right? Like, it's something that he's making distinctly just for you. And you're going to know when it's a God-given gift. right? Like you're gonna know. But it's those things also where it's just like if we get caught up in this world and how people perceive things, it's like now we up here going, well, because I got this, I done, accumulated that. I done, like I got this house, I got these cars, I got these clothes, I got basically all this superficial stuff that means absolutely nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of outer outer things that this world calculates as being of worth and value, but it really don't mean anything to who is most important, right? Same thing with, like I said in the last video, we can look a certain way. I can look beautiful all day to somebody, but if my heart is ugly, you get what I'm saying? Or if the things that I say and the things that I do is not, aligning, right? It's not aligning with anything that is of love or anything of God or anything that's of good, admirable things. And it's just like, who even cares that it meets society's standard of beauty? What have you? Like, to God is nothing, right? Just all these things is something that I really wanted to put out there for us to be reflecting on and to start some conversations about. Like, seriously, it's kind of interesting to me. Like I said, when I keep hearing different things and I'm just like, all of it is like, to me, all of it is like it's either superficial, it's materialistic, it's something that really does not matter, it's something that somebody else can do the exact same thing. It's like it's nothing of worth, nothing that's truly significant. And so it made me really reflect for myself, like, yeah, what makes me of value, what makes me, of worth? Of course, because I'm God's child, yes. But I'm for real. But it's like when a person meets you, what is it about you that's gonna stand out with them? Like, what is it about you that they're not gonna get from anybody else? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that part, I think that's the interesting thing that I found to be most important recently. It's just like, yeah, some stuff you're not gonna get it from anybody else. So don't ever be in this world feeling as if you have to compete with someone else. So I hope that like gave you a little more insight into it, because before I was talking about it a little bit ambiguously, like, okay, you compete with yourself, you're not really competing with outside things. But it's like, yeah, to take it a step further, it's like you're not competing with outside things because God made you to be a unique individual. He made you distinctly as yourself. That's why he gives us specific features. That's why he's giving us stuff that only we have and no one else has it. So it's like, why would we be in this world trying to act like somebody else or look like somebody else or take on someone else's anything? Like, there's never a need for you to ever compare yourself, like, ever. Because even God didn't make it that way, right? Like, he didn't make it to be where you out here comparing yourself with somebody else. You're meant to be different. We're not meant to be the same. It's crazy because that's the other thing. Like, anytime I change my hair, because I changed my hair again, you all know, I already said it, like, I change all the time. This last time it just took me a while, but yeah, I change all the time. And every time I change my hair, it's like individuals want to make it seem like, oh, they're changing it to look like this person, or the hair looks like this background or this nation or this, ethnicity. And it's just like, no, it's just hair. I don't put that much thought into it. What have you? Like, if it's cute, then that's what I feel like wearing for the day. But it's like, it's not that deep to me, because personally, I'm so confident in myself that my beauty comes from within. So whatever I wear and whatever I put on, I'm going to look good. Like, doesn't matter. Like, that's how confident I am in myself, because I know where my beauty comes from, right? Like, that's the part that's the part where it's like, I want us to really be reflecting on that. Like, for real, where does your value and your worth come from? Like, what is that to you? Because if you're going off of what you look like if you're going off of what you've accumulated, if you're going off of like all this stuff that really doesn't mean anything, it's like the next person can do that. Who cares? What is it about you that makes you you? You get what I'm saying? What is it about you that's making you so valuable that you're selected for anything? Right? Like, I'm serious. And I was even thinking about that too. I'm like, a lot of the times, in society, we go along and we do what everybody's doing. Right now, the thing is sleep with everybody. What have you, like, sleep with everybody. It's a free for all. But if you are in the Bible and you thinking biblically, every time that you sleep with a person, it's almost like you are joining with that individual and becoming one. Right. And so that's why back in the day, it was this thing of you wait until you get married because you don't want it to be where you're sharing some of yourself with everyone. But because of the times that we live in and the society that we live in, it's put out there like, sleep with whoever you want. Like, it's a sexual freedom and blah, 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 type of thing. And no judgment, do you all day. But if you read the Bible and you know what it say, like, that ain't okay. Not just on him telling us don't do that, but it's also on he's telling you don't do that for a reason. It's a spiritual connection type of thing where it's going to end up harming you more in the long run than if you would just do what he's saying to do. Right? Like, so hopefully, I was like, I don't want to go into all the little things, but it's just like, sometimes you talk about stuff that's biblical and people feel some type of way, but it's like he actually saying the stuff for your good. Like, when I got older, I realized, like, when he's putting that stuff out there, it's for a reason. He's trying to save you from going through headaches. Like, it really is. Like, he's trying to tell you, like, if he's telling you don't do something, it's for a reason. Like, he's trying to help you out. But we, being human and wanting to, do whatever everybody else is doing and society is saying is okay, we go along and we do the stuff, and then you find out later, like, that wasn't such a great idea. I probably should have listened. Like, I probably should have listened to what he was saying. But that's the part, right, where I'm putting it out there again. Like, it's something to chew on, something to reflect on for real. Like, be thinking for yourself, like, what is it that's making you valuable, right? What is it that's making you of worth? Because if you for real thinking that, oh, it's because I got all this money, or it's because I have all of these, valuables or assets or whatever you want to call them, or like, whatever society is telling you is so important to have, and that's what's making you a very important person, or that's what's making you significant or desirable or what have you. It's like, well, is that aligning with what God is saying? Like, for real, is that something that somebody else can do? You get what I'm saying? Where basically you can be replaced. That part. I'm just being real. Like, if it's stuff that you for real you're holding on to as that is what's making you so important, and that's what's making you so valuable, and that's what's making you so worthy, and it's something where you can be replaced, like someone else can do it, you might want to be reflecting on that. Right? Like, I'm for real. Like, I'm being dead serious. It's something that you might want to reflect on, and do some self-examination about. And believe you me, like I said before, it's something that we're in a process of. Like, we're constantly transforming, and so it's going to always be happening where we're going to be learning something different about ourselves, or getting closer to him and seeing something different in it. So it's not like it's a definite thing that's just what it's going to be, this one thing or these two things. It's like he's always going to keep showing us stuff. But it's something to for real think about, because if you believe, right, that he's making you and only you to be the way that you are, it's like God don't make no mistakes. So he's made distinct things, right, only for you, something that makes you unique. But it's like, it's on us to figure out what that is, right? So don't get caught up in this world and what the world, right, what society is telling us is valuable and what's worthy, right? Because these are the very things that it can be taken from you. And then what do? That's a lot of the times when you see people's self-esteem gets lowered. That's a lot of time where people feel like they're not useful anymore, or they're not valuable, or they're not worthy anymore. It's a lot of the times when you see people who get depressed and, all types of negative things happen because they're using whatever that thing was as showing that that's what's making them worthy. Right? And so I'm challenging you today. I'm for real. I'm challenging you today. I'm kind of doing that call to action today to for real be reflecting on that. Like, what is making you valuable? What's making you of worth, that no one else can do? that for real you is true to who you are as an individual. And believe you me, you do have it. Right? It's on you to figure it out, but you do have it. And if you are for real using things of this world to identify your worth or your value, it can be a hard fall, right? Like it can be a hard realization, right? When you're like, I can be replaced, or it's like, maybe that isn't so. You get what I'm saying? So it's like outside of those things, which are great to know and great to be able to do, it's like, what is it though that God sees, right, as being of worth and value in you? What are those things? That's when I was reflecting. I'm like, yeah, purity. Yeah. Saving yourself for marriage. Yes. I'll put it out there. Conversations that we feel uncomfortable having. I'll put it out there, especially in a world and a society where that for real is just, it's a free for all, and it's promoted and it's encouraged and all of that. And it's just like, I ain't for that. I'll tell you right now, I'm not for it. Just because for real, that is a whole thing. Every time that you are sleeping with a person, like for real, you are becoming one with that person spiritually, and also other things can happen from that could be a headache later on. So right, until you're sure about that person for real, like that you talk to God about that, then yeah. But even purity makes your value go up, that you're not out here with everybody. And that's for men and women. Okay, that's for everybody. And same thing with what do you call it, your character, right? Like we know the different trials and tribulations that we go through. It builds our perseverance, and perseverance is building our character is building our endurance, like all of that. Like it's gonna happen. Right? But at the same time, it's like, do you have that though? Like the characteristics, of things that are admirable, like having compassion, having empathy for people, caring about others and their welfare. I don't know, being forgiven, not constantly looking at faults and being critical of people, but for real, being forgiving, and promoting peace and stuff like that. Having self-control of yourself, like all these different aspects of your character that for real, it's only gonna come out in a certain way, right, with you. Right? Like I'm for real. It's something that you could be like, oh, this person's compassionate and that person's compassionate, but the way that they show it is gonna be different. You get what I'm saying? Like you have to find what it is about you that only you can offer, right? Like these are the things for real, when they're asking these questions about like what makes you different. It's like, no, for real. What are you bringing that's making you an asset? Like what is it that makes you of worth and value? Because if you're using outside things to determine that, like what happens when those outside things are gone? Yeah, I'm for real. Like what happens? I see it all the time. Like you have certain roles and stuff, and they're like, well, they need to have this extensive contact list. It's like, what happens when them people die, or what happens when them people are not, connected with you anymore? What happens? Are you determining your worth based off of that? What happens if you saying, yeah, because I have all of these assets, I have all of this money, so I'm beneficial, I can do it. What happens when that's gone for whatever? It could be unfortunate events happen. Well, what happens when that's gone? Are you still going to see yourself as worthy? Are you still going to see yourself as valuable? You get what I'm saying? What happens? For some people, they say, oh, I'm a part of this and I'm a part of that. I'm connected to this. And it's just like, what happens when unforeseen things go on? And then that's not going to help. Whatever, like that's gone for whatever reason. It's like, then what are you going to do? Like, are you going to still feel like you are of worth and you are of value? Like for real, I'm telling you. And the only way that we know these things is for real by knowing who we are as individuals. And if you're not taking the time to like examine who you are and to for real work on yourself, like it's going to be very challenging to know. Well, you get what I'm saying? It's going to be very challenging to know. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's so important. When I tell you, like I've come in contact with people, I've seen all that, where it's just like for real, people will lose their sense of worth and lose their sense of value because times change or events change or just things in life happen. And it's just like you have got to know the things that, regardless of whatever circumstance you find yourself in, whatever event happens, whatever things come across your path, you have got to know, like what your worth is and what your value is. Never allow anything that's external to dictate that, and always know what it is. So again, call to action and the challenge today is to for real be examining that, be thinking about it, talking about it, whatever you need to do. But yeah, it's one of those things where you need to know. Like, right, you need to know. And I know for me, it's definitely my heart, it's definitely my mind. I tell y'all all the time, like, I'm different. Just this conversation right now, like, I'm different. Like, I don't have the same way of thinking, as general society would in a lot of cases. And I know that. And as much as we reflect on things, it's like you'll get pushback or you'll get resistance or you'll get basically, lashing out or being excluded and stuff. I don't care. I know who I am and I'm grateful for that. And, like to me, it's a blessing to have that, and I know it makes me stand out. It's just one of those things where it's like you have got to know for yourself, right? And the more that you're secure in that, the more that you're not going to care what any outside anything got to say about it. You get what I'm saying? Especially if it's aligning with God, right? And I had to look that up too. I'm like, Jesus was unconventional, right? Like in a lot of ways that he did things, like it was different opposed to how social norms were and traditions and how people set stuff up. And that's fine. You get what I'm saying? Like that, it's fine. Like I'm for real. But society will let you think like if you're not with the crowd, if you're not doing what the general public is doing, then something is wrong with you. And it's like, nah, that's not always the case. Right. So it's one of those things where it's like you have to know for yourself. I know for sure it's my heart. Like I know for sure people talked about me for years with this love, love, love. And it's like, yeah, and I'm proud, not in that way, not no self-righteous proud, but I'm for real, I'm grateful again to be able to love on people and to be able to love through things and to know what love is, right? From God teaching me, all glory to him. Like all of it, all glory to him, because all this stuff is how I figured it out, right? But I'm identifying them and I'm putting it out there to, help you kind of reflect on some things for yourself. And for real, like think about it. A lot of times when people be asking these questions, we come up with the general answers, right? We come up with the stuff that people want to hear, or we come up with the stuff that it sounds nice and all that, or it could fit whatever it is that we're going for. And it's like, nah, for real, figure out what's making you valuable. Figure out what's making you of worth, right? Like that you can't get this anywhere else. Like, yeah, you can find someone, that looks this way or sounds this way or says this or does something this way or, creates that. Or, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can find other people who do these things, but it's like, what is it that's going to set you apart from all of it? You get what I'm saying? Like, and not in a way to compare. I'm just giving it to you in a way that helps you see. Like, you want to figure out for real what it is that's making you who you are and making you of worth and value, not to anybody else, right? Like, that's going to naturally happen. But I'm saying with God for real, because the things that he finds to be of value and of worth is not the same of what goes on in this world. So, hopefully I was able to explain that a little. Like, hopefully I was able to explain that a little bit. I need to clean the closet. I'm working on it. But that's not the point. I am in here, sharing one of my spaces that I enjoy, talking to God and read my Bible and just being close to him without any type of distractions or any of that. And it was pretty great. You all got some very personal information that's hopefully going to be helpful for you. You all know I don't mind sharing things about, what I go through and what I experience, especially if it's going to be, helpful for somebody else. And that's real. Right now, I feel like, which how long I got? Oh, I'm up there. I'm definitely wrap it up. But right now, I just feel like in society is getting very complicated. For real, with all this social media and just media in general, and times just changing. And I get that people want to fit in and all of that, but at the end of the day, like, we not meant to do that. We're not. Like, not in that way. When I say fit in, I ain't saying find things that align with your beliefs and your values and morals, but I'm saying people that be trying to fit in, just going with whatever, even though that might not be something that they believe in, or going along with things just because that's what everybody's doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, no real meaning as to why they doing this stuff. That's why I'm really pushing the message today to for real figure out what makes you valuable, figure out for real where your worth is coming from and what that looks like what that is. Because if you don't, and you're just out here, you're going to allow anybody and anything to basically tell you or dictate whether you're of value or not. And that's not okay. Right? Like, that's not, because we already know as believers, right, that we already of worth and value, high worth and value, right? Just because we're created from God, just because we are his children, right? Like, just because we are heirs, we already of worth and value. But it's like beyond that, like with him making you distinctly to be who you are. And it talks about, like the elect, it talks about, people being born for special purposes and people having spiritual gifts and all these different things. It's like, have you figured it out? Like, have you for real determined what makes you a value and a worth? Because if you for real still going off of how this world values you and you feeling like you important because of that, like, like, right, it's time to go a little bit deeper. It's time to get a little bit deeper in there and for real, like, see yourself how God is seeing you, and to for real know, like, what's making you valuable and what's making you an asset to anything, whether it's a job, whether it's with a person in a relationship, whether it's with an organization, it's with a company and a partnership and whatever, like a deal, like I say, think of yourself as the product. Think of yourself as the product, like you are this fabulously made thing, but or individual, but it's like, what is it for real that's setting you apart? What is it for real that's making you stand out? Like, of course, because, right, like, we want to say God is in us, God is with us, God is for us, he all around, like, of course this, but also what are those other aspects? And as we continue to grow and as we continue to walk, right, this journey with him, he continues to keep elevating, transforming, and showing us different things that make us of worth and value. But it's beyond this world, right? Like, it's beyond all this stuff that we can see and feel and, all that. It's real stuff. It's inner beauty, right? It's inner qualities that make us stand out. So what are those for you? Right. All right. So I'm going to leave it there because I already got to like 50 minutes and I didn't want to talk that long, but you know how I am. I don't mind sharing, but if you don't cut me off, I'm going to keep on chatting. And so hopefully that was helpful. I hope that everyone has a blessed rest of the day, because it is Sunday Fun Day. So I hope you have a blessed rest of the day. I've been watching the TV show, been cracking me up. So I think I'm going to go finish watching that. What it is, living biblically or biblically living. It is so hilarious, but it's real life, right? So interesting to me. But yeah, so I'm gonna go finish watching that and probably lay down. And yeah, I hope that you all do the same. Get you some rest as we get ready to start up another month and end this year. I'm so excited for new beginnings and just ending things and just starting off. whatever God got in store for us, like real talk. Like whatever he has in store, all those good things, and being able to walk firmly in that, right? Like whatever it is he's calling us to do. So, yeah, I hope everyone has a blessed rest of the evening, and I hope the message was resonating. And if not, I hope it's something for you to chew on and talk about and kind of reflect on. And yeah, I guess I shall talk to you all at another time. Bye.